Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we have with us our Dumaguete City Councilor and Negros Oriental Board Member of the 2nd District of Negros Oriental, Manuel Chaco Sacarbaria. Sir Chaco, magandang
hello.
gabi.
Good evening.
Oo. First and foremost, maybe you'd like to say a few words to our viewers for tonight, please.
To all the viewers who's watching, first I would like to introduce myself. I am Manuel Chaco Sagarbaria. I'm a City Councilor of Dumaguete City, and I am now officially running as board member because I'm sure a lot of people does not know that I'm still running for board member. Kay sabi nila I'm still running for councilor.
Yes.
So at least on that part, whoever's watching the show, at least you know na I'm running for board member.
That's good that you cleared that up. Anyways, Sir Chaco, how long have you been with the City Council?
Now would be my 6th year as a councilor.
Now, let me ask that question now. No? What made you decide and what motivated you to all of a sudden just run for as member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan instead of running for re-election as City Councilor?
Well, the first factor good was now that I am sitting on an ex-officio board member, I've noticed that I can do more, being a board member, especially for Dumaguete or basically the entire 2nd District, in about legislative things, and of course with the programs ni Congressman and of course the future program of our governor. Because I've seen that a lot of things has to be done. A lot of systems has to be worked out. Kinahanglan na po more or less a new perspective, I hope I can bring the experience coming from Dumaguete because bisag sa Oglales, we are very critical here in Dumaguete. We question everything, even if it's kauban or not. We always question things. So I hope I can bring that part of a Dumagueteño to the province.
Okay. Now, let's talk about you being in as sitting now with the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. How did that come to be, considering you're also a city councilor? Kasi not everybody would know the dynamics of the political setup, no? So maybe you can give them a preview or an idea of why you're sitting in as a city councilor and now you're also sitting with the Sangguniang Panlalawigan.
Okay. The PCL is for some reason different from other positions because usually, let's say for the ABC or barangay captain, they don't need anymore to host or do sessions in their barangay. Also in the SK, same thing. But in the PCL, for some reason, since actually we don't have an organization, president or local chapters, when I become the PCL president, I still have to fulfill my duty as a councilor at the same time. So technically, in a week, I will always have sessions or KBC. But to get the PCL, basically, whoever gets elected as the president of the entire Negros Oriental gets the position as ex-officio members of the board.
Now, you're seeking a seat now for the next election. You're sitting a seat as a provincial board member now already. What are some of the ideas that you have that, as far as legislation is concerned, that you'd like to introduce once you are lucky enough to be sitting with the Sangguniang Panlalawigan?
Well, there's like a few things regarding agriculture, about supporting mga farmers. Pero as of now, looking at a lot of ordinances coming from the province, so many are not implemented, even in environment. We have so many ordinances na wala gi-implement. It's time for a change na kasi ako, I can also fight with the upcoming elections. If we get all in, we start implementing those. Especially sa mga hospital, even we just passed ordinances kanang libreng dialysis or take-home medicines which are not implemented. So, daghan there. I don't need to add so much. What's important, is we start implementing the old ordinances na napasa mga kauban. But of course, with coming from me, I have ordinances planned, especially sa healthcare, agricultural sector also.
Okay. There are other more seasoned, older seasoned politicians that are seeking a seat also in the second district as board member. Not saying that you're the best, but what basically can I mean, let's be more straightforward with these matters. What do you think would really be your asset, and what do you think legislatively can you contribute? That's why people should be voting for you.
Well, when it comes to the best, I will not say consider myself the best. Other people are more experienced than me, pero I have my own style of doing things. Of course, this comes with my very big advantage na I am the son of the congressman. His programs and projects, I can also help implement.
Okay.
This directly for the people. Then, of course, kabahin po with my experience sa Dumaguete City. As I mentioned a while ago, na kami mga kulit kayo when it comes to ordinances. I can, on experience-wise po, naapo ko how do we say, 18 years no experience. So naapo ko ipakita ko regarding that on that scale. Pero when it comes to ordinances, it's I have a new perspective kay bata pulubuyag pulubatanon pa ko, and maybe in the future I can create good ordinances po.
Okay. Sir Chaco, second district is the biggest legislative district in the province of Negros Oriental. Are you prepared and ready for the daunting and taxing task of the campaign trail?
Basig maniwang na ko ane. Pero so far, I'm going around, enjoy. Of course, some days are kapoy. The furthest barangays na it takes 4 hours or 5 hours to get there. Di ara man na medyo kapoy, no? Pero the rest are okay naman because all the roads are fine. It's being repaired. I've heard stories before na so the hardest barangays is not 4 hours, 5 hours. Kailangan you have to give a day. So now the distance from area dili na kaayo as bad as before because the programs ni Kong are helping them so much. Then kabayan po campaigning puro boy, that's why lami paning batan-on no. We still have a lot of energies to go around. Kung idara na ta, I don't know.
Since Congressman Sir Garbaria is also seeking a re-election also as the second district congressman, is it an advantage for you in terms of the campaign, considering that you'll be covering the same area?
Yes, more or less, no, because we've decided we are more or less entwined when it comes to our advocacies. So, what areas na we have to split and go from one area to another, we are technically supporting each other sa amuang mga ideas. I say his programs, he also saves a few of my programs. So, at least duha mi kabuok na katuyok-tuyok na, of course, with the same family name. So, medyo madala ra gid mi. And it's actually a very big advantage on my part also.
Now, what do you see in second district? I mean, what potentials does second district have, and how do you utilize to its fullest and help improve and develop the local economy in terms of job opportunities for its constituents, Sir Chaco?
Huge tayo. Pero it cannot be the second district only, no, because we have intertwined economies. Let's say Dumaguete, tourists. Hopefully, when COVID is dying down, our target is ako as a board member. I'm not limited to the second district. So when I support projects coming from the third district, let's say the resorts there, pero we make sure na ma-entice po sila and come to Dumaguete to stay in the hotels on Dumaguete, to eat in Dumaguete, and to also to enjoy the resorts coming from Darwin or Sabangita or Shaton. So, when you talk about economy, it's intertwined. You cannot say, sa Aqua, you cannot be only in second district. Pero you, being a board member in second district, we can improve our tourist attractions here. That way, mag-cross lang sila because foreigners, usually if na mga people who come on vacation, has money to spend. So I have to make sure that they also visit multiple sites. So that way the economics go up. Then also maybe some people will decide na if we're doing well, they invest here. Then the capital is mostly in second district in Dumaguete. So they can bring in more call centers. Then maybe they are here. I've had friends coming from abroad na they decide na they see the talent of the second district and decide, sige, we'll put up shop here. And of course, since they like the weather sa Philippines, ganaan po sila sa mga resorts here. So they decide to bring in money to the second district. So basically, intertwined magugkayo. Economics is medyo complicated. Pero yeah, on that part.
Now let's talk about legislation. No, if you become a board member of the second district, what legislation do you have in mind right now that would specifically help and address enhancing delivery of basic services, social services? Of course, not only to the second district.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I have actually been talking sa mga barangay. I will try to push for a standardization of all clearances starting from the barangay level to the city level. That way, and of course, connect it, build a system to connect all social services requirements. Let's say, if somebody needs help, financial assistance, they can go to the barangay and have the barangay automatic transmit sa city to whatever requirements, and the city transmit to the province. So that way, each LGU can give their support. If they have their own programs, they can also add continuously to the program. Actually, mugo na ako ang gibuhat ron na interconnectivity. Basically, an ordinance that standardize it and have interconnectivity of LGUs. So if to make the services faster. Because karon, if you watch at the system, it takes approximately 2 weeks or 3 weeks if you want to avail of certain services. If we cut that down to 2 to 3 days to an ordinance and to a system, dako na kinagtabang for the people, because when you need money, you need it immediately. And if you try to make utang, may siguro patungan pa ka, you will lose money in the end, which is supposed to be a service for you.
Yeah.
So these are something that's basically what I will really try to do, given the time, because it will not be an easy thing. Lisubya mag-training ka, especially starting from the bottom levels of barangay all the way up, and everybody agrees to the interconnectivity of everything. Actually, Dumaguete is starting the interconnectivity of mga blood banks. So we can even add that. So at least people will go there. Basically, they go to any agency and ask, where do I get this? Where do I get this? Saan ako pagtabang? So the government agencies who has already the system, igol na mag-connect na lang. So it makes easier for basically anybody who needs something specific. Anybody who has the computer or the system can tell them, go there. So it's easier for everybody.
That's good to hear. Now, as city councilor and right now, concurrently, you're the chairperson for the Committee on Health. Can you tell our viewers, since you're still with the city council right now, what initiatives and in terms of legislation have you introduced and have you initiated that made a difference? That made a difference in Dumaguete community.
Sa Dumaguete lang. Actually, bago raman ko as the chairman of health, bago raman kay Gary Shuffle, just recently.
That's right.
Yeah, on that. Wala ko kapas o recent legislation sa health. I've just been focusing on the support of the COVID and the IATF.
Correct.
Pero I'm very proud to announce that Dumaguete, when it comes to vaccination, we have even exceeded our 100% quota. We even hit 144%. So that's an achievement for Dumaguete City. Being the chair, swertean na po ko on that part. na naato ikahinambog, when it comes to Dumaguete City and how we're handling our COVID problems here in Dumaguete. So it's also something to be very proud of, being the chair. Of course, if any Dumagueteño hears this, is being proud because we're the only one who has even gone beyond the 100% requirement.
Now, on the COVID-19 situation of Dumaguete City, are we managing the pandemic effectively?
Yes, extremely. I think pila naman today, 2 na lang.
Yeah.
Positive cases, we are doing excellent. I hope we go back to Cebu. I still have to talk to the IATF and make hangyo na we'll follow Cebu na we can, since we've been working so hard, and the businesses also needs a break, and they have been complying so much. I'm also very thankful to them. Now we go back to essentially almost normal, because Cebu is almost normal.
Let's
or
look
new
back.
normal.
Yes. Let's look back during the start of ECQ and COVID. And now, how would you? I mean, you were there during the really start. No, there's no manual to tell us how to take care and how to manage the COVID-19 pandemic. But how would you describe and characterize the COVID-19 response of Mayor Ipe's administration, particularly in getting people vaccinated, and the of course the distribution of ongoing distribution of rice subsidy to 30,000 households?
For me, on our administration, Mayor Ipe's administration, I believe he's doing an excellent job.
Okay.
Because for everything Malacanang required us to do, we have done it and we have even gone beyond it.
Yes. Wow.
Even of rice subsidies, walay pili.
Yeah.
Dato ba mapobre, as long as you're in the area, you are qualified.
Yeah.
Sa other areas, piliun lang, katurang masa, but Mayor was able to find funds, no, to give practically almost every household or family member. So that in itself is an achievement. Dili-pili, tabang tanan, because everybody is affected.
How about it? Yes. How about in the area of vaccination? How are we doing right now?
Our vaccination, muna niligin ron, we hit beyond our quota. We're about 144%.
Yeah.
Galibog namin kinsa i-vaccinate, kay hurot naman tanan. So very above and beyond lagi ang gibuhat sa administration ni Mayor Ipe. So I'm so happy no. The way he runs the city. So impressive, good.
Okay. Let's it's no secret and it's public knowledge that you are a family engaged in businesses, no? Now, let's talk about you as a businessman and your family being in business. How has COVID-19 affected really businesses?
Well, when it started, of course, with the closure, so the most painful to see is our losing employees. Now, we have no choice but to let go. Okay? If not, it might cause bankruptcy. No? So as much as possible, we did not want to let go. Pero external forces, COVID came in. So basically, the employees are practically, so on our side, it's all sliced in half. But now, so that means less pagkaon sa pamilya nila, which causes underemployment, so which is bad for the economy also.
Yeah.
So it's not on that good side. Pero now, actually starting December and January, things seems to be getting back to normal. Sales are getting better. So hopefully, no, katong amuang natangtang, we can start to rehire them back. I'm sure that's not only on our case, pero I'm sure that's the case of almost all businesses. So once everything goes back, the economy can jumpstart and they can start rehiring na po. Utang na po midagan kay help wanted, so at least no. Of course, I hope they give priority sa katong nawala nila so that they can reapply or they can go back to work. Pero on the economy side, yeah, it's getting better na. Getting better.
Okay. Now, are you quite optimistic about, we're seeing really improvements and developments in terms of the pandemic, no? But for the good, no? For the better. But are you quite optimistic about the local industry and the local businesses here, and that we are ready to reopen for the economy to accept tourists without imposing protocols?
Yeah, because I haven't been to Manila, pero my sister has been there. She says it's normal, and my friends, I've been asking them how is Cebu. They said it's practically normal. Even social distancing is no longer required.
Correct.
Sa mga stores. So why not Dumaguete? There's nothing to prolong it anymore if our neighbors are all like that. Abre na punta. That way we can jumpstart everything back again. Kay dagan mo benefit kay the motorcycle, the vehicle kanang motorcycle sector, dagan na mo kasay na pedicab. Everything will kay dagan pa mo trabaho. So sani man guna siya mo circle naman dyan ng kwarta as long as na jobs. So with everything open, murag mo basically jumpstart it all back again. So I'm fairly confident kay with the management of Mayor Opi regarding sa COVID, abtik man ta kaayo mo respond. So if we see na medyo opening is medyo still delicate. After fully opening no, then we see a little bit rise, we can go back. Pero as of now, we're doing so well. Angay na good, open.
Let's talk about your most proudest moments in City Council and now as ex-officio provincial board member. Can you tell our viewers one of your proudest moments being there, both in the City Council and in this Sangguniang Panlalawigan?
I cannot remember. There are so many things that activities. I don't have a specific moment.
Okay.
Basically, every day is different. Every day I enjoy. I usually go to the house before. Kaya napatawa sa I told them, amatay sadya rong adlaw because of this. We defended this. On my most proudest moment, I can't remember. Every day, every session for me is different. But I enjoy it.
Okay. Now, I don't like to talk about this because this is something that's too dear and too personal on your end. But most of our viewers have been asking, how are you, Councilor, coping up with the sudden demise and loss of your beloved wife, Para?
Well, I'm gonna say, taking it one day at a time. Some days gets lonely. Some days I just have to be strong for the kids. It's we say, well, I choice. When I say binuangan, I have to run both roles, no? Tatay, nanay, when I binuangan nila, inatay na ko nila.
Okay.
Inaog tatay, so just for me, and if I'm sure anybody who's been experiencing this, whoever experienced this, the only way is just to take it one day at a time and go forward and hope for the best again. There's nothing else to do.
Councilor, for purposes of those that may not know and they would like to hear directly from the horse's mouth, no? What really happened ba? What caused it?
There was another term. Basically, it's like a heart attack, pero a different kind. Forgot the term. Basically, basta heart attack siya. Then what happened was, it happened around 5 o'clock in the morning, and the one who even noticed was my kid. We usually sleep together. Ako, on the middle is my son, and Farah on the side. 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up because the dog barked. Then when I went back to the room, naka-notice na akong kid. The mom, Farah, was no longer breathing. So una, he told me that nalisan ko. I even tried CPR para just to, maybe jumpstart anything. Then I've noticed after a minute, wala namang yun. So I brought her directly to the hospital. Dito, we tried. The doctors tried for an hour. Wala nang yun.
Okay.
That's basically,
Well, Councilor, can you describe to us Farah as a wife first and as a mother, and what will you miss the most about her?
Si Farah, how do we say, extrovert, She's very friendly to everyone.
Bubbly.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
What her character is. Anybody that goes to the house, iya dyan ang tawagod, pakanon din na niya na she's really into kanang familia good. Kanang ako ay medyo reserved man ko gani gamay. Siya mo ay complete opposite na ako na bisa kinsa jud way pili. Then she's super maluyon. Opo na guy that caused her stress because of the udet. She was even the one pushing me every day na to go. Go to Bais na, go to Mabinay na, send the relief goods. She's the one who is go sa pamangkadire. Lakaw na.
Yeah.
And kabayan po sa family, she's super great. Mulagi na, I cannot find somebody else like her. There will be no longer. Kay, mulaga, sabi po siya, medyo stricta, pero with everybody says heart of gold, kanang those kinds of personality, no?
Yeah.
Lara good. Family first. More to iya hagyan.
What will you really miss most about her?
Everything. Running the house, being with the kids, helping me sa akong political career because she really is my timbang unta. She's actually basically supposed to be the next politician because she's more political than me. she has actually this kind of talent but once she meets you, she never forgets the name.
Yeah.
Na super rare na abot. Ako, I don't have that ability na I met you once, then after meeting you 2 months later, I still remember your name. Anak ko abilidad.
Yeah.
Muna yung abilidad, so grabe. It's something else good. Sayang.
Councilor, finally, kindly share to us your message to the people of Dumaguete City and the 2nd District of Negros Oriental.
To the people of Dumaguete and the 2nd District, of course, I'd like to thank all of you for keeping being the chairman of health, following all protocols. We're doing fantastic. We're doing great. We're down to practically almost 2. Passing next week, musiro na gataan and of course, there we have this new news regarding Ukraine, Russia. Pero what we should focus on most now is what we can do now to help all of us because we are still in the midst of pandemic, and we, of course, with the coming of elections, let's just choose people who you believe na maka-help you with you. And I'm here to support, and hopefully I'll also be a choice. Kay upat man I'll also hangyo ako na hopefully I can be one of the choices na you believe na makatabang, especially sa whole the 2nd District. And of course, being a city of Dumaguete, an experience coming from Dumaguete, I can also bring our garbo as Dumagueteño into the province.
Councilor Chaco, much appreciation for being my guest tonight in Let's Talk. And we'll have more talks in the coming months leading to the election. So thank you very much for being my guest for tonight.
Okay, thank you, Din.
Okay. That was our guest for tonight. Manuel Chaco Sagarbaria for our episode for tonight's Let's Talk. Kindly continue to like us at our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Talk with Dok Dinno Dumaguete. So that's our episode for tonight. I'm Dok Dinno. Be well, and let's keep talking.